What is going on, everybody? Welcome back into TTP Sports. London, Phillies, Mets. Phillies take game one over the New York Mets by a score of 7-2. The offense exploded, and I mean exploded in the top of the fourth inning. Bryce Harper arrived in London. He showcased to the good people of London, the Englishmen, whatever you want to call them. What do they call the people out there in London and England? What are those people called? I would assume Londoners or something like that. Bryce Harper put on a showcase for them. That's basically the bottom line there. Triple shy of the cycle, hits an absolute bomb, and then he follows that up going to the dugout, doing a little soccer celebration as he's like a foot from the dugout. And the funny thing is, looking at Rob Thompson's face when Bryce is doing that, because he's probably thinking in the back of his head, oh God, Bryce, please don't do that, because you could probably hurt yourself doing that. But Bryce Harper being Bryce Harper, he's made for the moment, doing his showmanship, giving a show to the people of London out there. Just excellent stuff from the Phillies. Whit Merrifield, out of all people. Whit Merrifield, the guy we've given so much shit to, and rightfully so, for basically being non-existent so far in a Phillies uniform. He hits a huge three-run shot to continue that huge fourth inning for the Phillies. And that all started thanks to a Bryson Stott walk when he was down 0-2 in the count. He battled against Sean Manaea, where in the beginning of the game for the first three innings, the Phillies definitely did struggle a little bit in the batter's box. I guess you could say that's more accounted to the batter's eye out there in London, because the sun was setting and the sun was just completely blasted all over the center field batter's eye, and really for both teams, no one can really see the ball well. The Mets did get on the board early against Ranger Suarez, but basically through the first three innings, a lot of batters just looked confused, a lot of batters just weren't picking up the ball, and mainly for the Phillies side. But then once that sun went away, and that was basically right in the top of the fourth inning, that's when the Phillies bats woke up, and that's when they started hacking against Sean Manaea. Nick Castellanos also added some insurance with an absolute moonshot. Oh my God, Nick Castellanos is on an absolute heater right now. Even the freaking Fox broadcast, which I kind of thought was very brutal today. I kind of think they left a lot of meat on the bones. The pregame show being taken place at Yankee Stadium. I understand why it was there, because it's a big day on the Fox broadcast, but with the game in London today. Then the horse race that's on, the Belmont Stakes, that's on basically directly right after it. And then tonight is the Yankees versus the Dodgers, so that's going to be a very huge for the Fox broadcast. And I'm just thinking to myself, of course, they left Joe Davis and everything like there for the Fox broadcast for the Yankees and the Dodgers, and they didn't send them out to London. So we got like the B tier Fox broadcast for this game. And it wasn't good to start, but they did leave off on a high note with the Castellanos meme saying there's a deep drive to left field. The good old Nick Castellanos meme. It never dies. It never dies. And it was funny too. When Nick Castellanos hit that home run, basically everyone on Twitter that I saw was like, check on King Charles. Quick, go check on the King. Make sure he's all right. Oh, God. Oh, God. And for Ranger Suarez, definitely not the sharpest version of Ranger Suarez, which probably should have been given because, all the off days, and especially coming off of the game where he only pitched 2 innings because he got the liner smacked right on his left hand, and we were all questioning whether he was even going to start today. And considering all the stuff that Ranger had to go through with his hand being injured, with, having those off days, there was a little bit of offness, a little bit of off command, allowed some base runners in this game, but still he manages to go 5 2/3 and only allows 2 earned runs. Philly's bullpen was absolutely huge today as well. Orion Kerkering is fucking nasty. Kerkering is fucking nasty. Some of those pitches, that backdoor slider that he threw the Francisco Lindor, and then that low and inside sinker to one of the lower parts of the lineup for the New York Mets. Kerkering is absolutely nasty, and he's really going under the radar with this Phillies bullpen. That is absolutely amazing. Serafi Dominguez, he allowed a 2-out walk, but basically got out of his inning unscathed. And then Ruiz, he came out to close the game. Granted, the Phillies had a 5-run lead, so it's very understandable why you bring out a guy like Ruiz. And yeah, he gets into some trouble, allows, a walk to Francisco Lindor, he allows a single to Pete Alonso, allows a single to Brandon Nimmo, and you're thinking to yourself, oh, God, please don't do this. Caleb Coughlin comes out to the mound. Ruiz, in the at-bat to JD Martinez, gets ahead of him 0-2. And then he manages to get JD Martinez to ground out into a very soft ground ball, right back to Bryson Stott. Easy double play. Ends the game unscathed. Phillies win 7-2. And good on Ruiz. Good on Ruiz. I was definitely a little skeptical about that just because you had so many relievers in your pen that were rested coming into this. I know I would have used a Matt Strum or a Jeff Hoffman, but I guess at the end of the day, that's the best case scenario because, Taijuan Walker is pitching tomorrow, so you save your better bullpen guys for tomorrow's game depending on what happens. So I guess that's the best case scenario right there. But what a fun game. What a fun game. What a fun atmosphere. The Phillies fans there. Oh my God. They were just... It just sounded like a gigantic version of Citizens Bank Park. Mets fans were quiet. Granted, how many Mets fans are even... There's definitely some Mets fans there. But it definitely sounded like it was very Phillies heavy. A lot of red in the seats. It was just a great atmosphere there, man. It was fantastic. It was very fun to watch that. Now, I would like to get the sweep of this London series tomorrow. Granted, it's not guaranteed with Taijuan Walker on the mound, but that would be very nice. Winning the first game is always that first step, and, thankfully the offense did find a way to break through once the sun went away, and Ranger Suarez really settled down into this game when he wasn't really having that good of command throughout, and he manages to get his 10th win of the season, and that's a Major League leading 10th win. So, hey, everything going the Phillies' way right now felt really good. And it's especially, too, when you're coming into this game, Francisco Lindor is really out of the plate, completely different version of Francisco Lindor that you've seen, going back to the last series that we played against the Mets. Francisco Lindor just couldn't buy a base hit. He was very terrible at the plate the last time the Phillies played in New York. And, basically since then, Francisco Lindor has been on an absolute heater. And he does go 2 for 4 in this game. And he does steal a run for the Mets. During a situation where Alec Boehm just has to throw it over the first base, really can't do anything around it there. Ranger Suarez allowed the leadoff hit, then a double to Pete Alonso, ground rule double, that manages to get out of that, only allowing one run. So Ranger Suarez, like I said, he got himself into some trouble, but he managed to get out of those situations. He went 5 2/3 innings, allowed 8 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts on 89 pitches. He definitely was not going to go deep into this ballgame. I would have loved for him to finish the 6th inning, but sadly, Edmundo Sosa booted the ball at shortstop, which prevented that from happening, and then Kerkering had to come in. But Kerkering was so nasty. Kerkering was so nasty, man. Inning in the 3rd, 3 strikeouts, 24 pitches. Nasty stuff. Sarafi Dominguez only needed 14 pitches in the 8th. Ruiz allowed 2 hits and a walk, but he manages to get out of that unscathed. Very good there. In terms of the Phillies lineup today, they went 3 for 6 with runners in scoring position, so when they got their chances, they drove those guys home. Looking at the lineup, the Phillies had 11 hits in total in today's game. Everybody in the lineup had a hit. Kyle Schwarber, he goes 1 for 5 with an RBI. JT Realmuto goes 1 for 5. Bryce Harper, 3 for 4. He was fantastic at the plate today. Solo shot, double, single, triple shy of the cycle. I would have loved for him to get the cycle in London. That would have been fantastic stuff. Alec Boehm, he went 1 for 4. Nick Castellanos, 1 for 4 with the solo shot. Bryson Stott, 1 for 3 with that huge walk in the 4th inning that led to that, situation by Whit Merrifield. Edmundo Sosa, he goes 1 for 4 with an RBI with a little bloop base hit that probably Starling Marte should have caught out there in right field. And then Whit Merrifield, 1 for 4, the biggest hit of the game, the 3-run shot, 3 RBIs on the day for him, and then Christian Pache added a double in there as well. So good stuff from the Phillies lineup. They came after the first 3 innings where they definitely looked a little sluggish, and they came out big. Definitely big stuff there. Just looking throughout this game, Phillies were classified as the road team for today's game, and then tomorrow they're just going to be the home team, so both teams are just alternating for these 2 games. You go to the bottom of the 1st inning, Ranger allows a leadoff double to Francisco Lindor, and then he hits JD Martinez with 2 outs on an 0-2 count, and that allowed Marte to get a double down the left field line to make it a 1-0 Mets lead. And then, Mets go up 1-0. Ranger gets out of that limited damage, basically. And then really from then, 1-2-3 inning in the 2nd for the Phillies, 1-2-3 inning for the Mets in the 2nd, 1-2-3 inning for the Phillies in the 3rd. After a 1-out walk by Pete Alonso in the 3rd, Ranger gets out of that unscathed. Then you go to the top of the 4th, and this is where everything happens. JT Realmuto lines out on the first pitch, and then Bryce Harper works his count, gets it to 6 pitches, and then he absolutely crushes a home run, makes it a 1-1 game. Alec Boehm then follows that up with a single. Castellanos then flies out. Bryson Stott works a walk after going down 0-2 in the count, drew an 8-pitch at bat, fouled off a couple of pitches, and then worked that huge walk. Edmundo Sosa with the single to right field, and like I said, the lackluster effort by Starling Marte to let up on the ball and let it drop to score another run, which made it 2-0 Phillies. And then Whit Merrifield in a 1-1 count just got his pitch on the inside part of the plate and just sent it liner out of the ballpark into the bullpen. And we're just thinking to yourself, wow, Whit Merrifield coming up in the clutch. I love it. I definitely love it. And then Christian Pache hit a double. Kyle Schwarber with a single to center field, which Harrison Bader just missed diving for the ball. Made it 6-1 Phillies. Mets tried to respond in the bottom of the fourth inning. Marte with a leadoff single, and then a fielder's choice, and then Iglesias doubled with 2 outs, but then Ranger manages to get Torrens striking out. No runs there for Ranger. Top of the fifth, Bryce Harper did reach on an infield single, but then he got too aggressive trying to steal second base, so that was a little bit of a heat check there for Bryce Harper. Bottom of the fifth inning, leadoff single for Francisco Lindor, then Alonso hits it into the ground rule double. Ranger manages to strike out Nimmo. Martinez grounds into a force out, which, Lindor was just being really aggressive in that situation. Bohm did try to hold him over at third base. He did the right thing. Threw over the first, got the out. Lindor was just being insanely aggressive there, trying to get another run for the Mets. Made it 6-2, and then Marte grounded out to end the inning. Phillies go 1-2-3 in the top of the sixth. Bottom of the sixth inning, after 2 2-out singles by Ranger Suarez, one of those was booted by Edmundo Sosa at shortstop. Kerkering comes into the ball game, strikes out Francisco Lindor on a 2-2 count, backdoor slider, absolutely nasty stuff. Top of the seventh, Phillies don't do anything against the Mets bullpen. They did get a 2-out hit by JT, but nothing happened there. 1-2-3 inning for Kerkering. In the bottom of the seventh inning, 2 strikeouts, insanely nasty stuff there. And I believe the Brandon Nimmo at bat, it was a very long at bat. It was a 10-pitch at bat. 3-2 count, fouled off a lot of pitches, and then on the outside part of the plate, Nimmo managed to strike out there. The umpire behind the plate was definitely very questionable today. He definitely favored an outside strike zone. Definitely favored on the right side of the plate where the strikes were. A lot of very inside pitches to right-handed hitters were called strikes, and inside pitches to different batters were not called to left-handed batters were not called strikes. It was definitely weird. A weird day for the umpire. Not the best umpire behind the plate. Top of the eighth inning, Castellanos with 1 out. First pitch swinging off the lefty. Solo shot, absolute bomb. Castellanos on an absolute heater. And then Dominguez comes out for the bottom of the eighth. Allowed a 2-out walk to Bader, but manages to get out of that unscathed. He was really good. Sir Anthony Dominguez was. Phillies 1-2-3 in the ninth, and then Ruiz comes out for the bottom of the ninth, gets the first out in DJ Stewart, then walks Francisco Lindor, single to Pete Alonso, single to Brandon Nimmo, and then a pitching mound visit, and then an 0-2 count double play for JD Martinez to end off the game. Very nice stuff there, very nice. The Mets themselves did have 10 hits in this ballgame. The Mets went 2 for 11 with runners in scoring position. They left 11 runners stranded. Their lineup: Francisco Lindor 2 for 4, Pete Alonso 2 for 4, Nimmo 1 for 5, JD Martinez 0 for 4 with an RBI, Marte 2 for 4 with an RBI, Vientos 0 for 4, Bader 0 for 3 with a walk, Iglesias 2 for 4, Torrens 1 for 3, and then Stewart came in the pinch hit. He went 0 for 1. Their pitching side, Minaya started off the game good, but that was also benefiting from the batter's eye out there in center field. He went 3 2/3, 7 hits, 6 earned runs, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts, and 2 home runs allowed in that top of the fourth inning. So good stuff there by the Phillies offense. Then the Mets bullpen came out. They definitely shut down things from there. Reed Foley, Hauser, Young did allow the home run to Nick Castellanos, Ottavino, then Diekman. So their bullpen definitely shut things down from there. But at the end of the day, when you allow 6 runs in 1 inning, you're probably not going to come back against this Phillies pitching staff. And that's exactly what happened. That is exactly what happened. I'm also trying to see if there's anything post-game from this game, and then it was just, some good stuff there. Philly's been in London basically for the past couple of days. I believe they arrived in London on Wednesday night or Thursday morning or something like that. They took the overnight flight on Wednesday after the sweep against Milwaukee, and they've been there for a couple of days. So I'm sure they're still not fully used to the jet lag, fully used to the time switch. But hey, when you got to lace it up for the game, you're always going to be ready to go. So that's fun, some fun stuff. Bryce Harper on the mic during the game as well. Some good stuff there. Man. It's definitely going to be weird watching a ball game at 10 in the morning tomorrow, so that's definitely going to be a very weird experience. But Yeah, let's go for the 2-game sweep. Why not go for the 2-game sweep? Like I said, it does sour the stomach that you got to watch Taijuan Walker at 10 in the morning on a Sunday morning, and then you're going up against Jose Quintana, who's 1-5 with a 5.17 ERA. He did pitch well against the Phillies his last time up, but I think the Phillies will be fine tomorrow. Looking at his past couple of outings, for Quintana, 4 innings against the Diamondbacks, 3 earned runs. 6 innings against the Dodgers, 3 earned runs. 6 innings against Cleveland, 3 earned runs. 5 and a third inning against the Phillies, 2 earned runs. And then 5 innings against Atlanta, 4 earned runs. So he definitely allows at least 3 earned runs a game. A couple of home runs to the Diamondbacks, a couple of home runs to the Dodgers, a couple of home runs to the Braves. So he's definitely prone to the long ball. I know Quintana does have good numbers against the Phillies, if I'm not mistaken. So let's look. Jose Quintana, career versus Phillies. I'll just look at his numbers there. In his career against the Phillies, Jose Quintana, he is 0-2 with an ERA of 3.72 and 70 strikeouts in 10 appearances against the Phillies. So he's probably had more recent success, but he still hasn't recorded a win against the Phillies. So I guess take that for what it's worth. But for Taijuan Walker, not expecting that much. He did say, because the field surface in London, the ball bounces a lot. It is a very bouncy turf out there in London, and Taijuan Walker did state during, like, I believe it was today before the game or something like that, talking about the way that he's going to pitch. He's going to be throwing a lot more splitters tomorrow, just try to induce some ground balls to keep the ball out of the air or something like that. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Definitely been favoring the splitter right down the middle of the plate. So, like I said, we'll see what happens at the end of the day in terms of what Taijuan Walker is going to do tomorrow. In terms of the lineup, I wouldn't be shocked if it's the same tomorrow because it's a lefty pitcher out there. Do you put Johan Rojas in the lineup? Do you put Weston Wilson in the lineup maybe or something like that? I'm sure Whit Merrifield probably earned a second game in a row because of the home run, so we'll probably see Whit back in the lineup tomorrow. But yeah, it's we'll see. We'll definitely see on that case. I'm trying to see if there's anything from Rob Thompson right now or anything post game from this Phillies game. Just any quotes or anything like that. I don't think there are, but I do want to go and play some of the audio from the home runs because just listen to the crowd there in London. Just some great stuff. And that freaking Bryce Harper celebration was electric. It definitely was. So if I can get to the Bryce Homer, let me get it right here. Put that up there. Get this set up. So here we go. Here's let's listen to some of the London atmosphere on some of these home runs.
Start low.
2-2 pitch. That one started out in the middle of the plate, and Harper rips it deep to right field, and it is gone. Bryce Harper, the first home run across the pond for Philadelphia, and we're tied at 1.
It is loud there. It definitely is loud. There's a lot of Phillies fans there. It looks like a lot of red. It's fun stuff. Here comes the celebration.
Exactly what you two got.
Oh, wow.
Let's go! Oh, beautiful celebration.
Love there from Bryce. The reaction from Thompson's face is hilarious. And here comes, this is from Edmundo Sosa. So, yeah, I want to replay this Edmundo Sosa RBI hit because Marte definitely could have caught that.
It looks better.
So it was a 1-2 count. Sosa bleeds it in the right field. This definitely could have been caught. That 100% could have been caught by Marte. 100%. So he just basically gave the Phillies a free run there. And that set up Whit Merrifield to do this.
Merrifield lifts one deep to left. Nimmo back, turning around, and Whit Merrifield with a strike.
Look how loud the crowd gets for that.
Shot, and the Phillies with a big frame lead it 5-1.
Look at all the Phillies fans there, man. Look at all the Phillies fans. I know you can't see this from what I'm doing, but like if you go on Twitter, the Phillies Twitter, and see that, look at all the Phillies fans. And you guys, like seriously, they show pictures of all on the Bryce Harper. Look at all these Phillies fans. It's amazing. Yeah, there's some Mets fans mixed in there, but it's mainly Phillies fans. Like that's great stuff. Great stuff. My God. There's some other things right here. Let me replay the Harper homer. Look how loud this place is. It's great stuff here. It's great stuff. I love this team. I love the team. Here comes Castellanos' home run.
Every guy on your own team. Yeah, he had the.
Whoa!
Crushed.
Castellanos launches it, and it is gone. Absolutely crushed. And there's a deep drive to left field in London from Castellanos.
Look at JP's face.
There's a deep drive to left field in London from
And then the meme.
Castellanos to make it 7-2.
Great stuff there on the broadcast. Specifically that moment. The rest of the broadcast was not good. Like, that was the bright spot of the broadcast. That was basically it. JT's face was hilarious. My God. Replaying the Bryce Harper. It's great stuff. Great content here from the Phillies. They did some Austin Powers, like, themed things right here as well. So. Great stuff here, boys. Great stuff. Good win by the Phillies as well. Great win. I gotta love it. Gotta love it. And now, there's a game tomorrow. And everything like that. And it was funny, too. Like, speaking of the broadcast, like, they just kept... Like, before the game even started, like, they were, basically from the pregame show and everything like that. Obviously, yes, with everything that's going on today for Fox Sports, they definitely got to bring up all the topics here. But it felt like when the broadcast started, when they were switching to the game, they were kind of bringing up, oh, the Phillies offense isn't as good this season as it was at last. The Phillies offense is top 5 in the National League. I believe they're second in runs scored. They're third in OPS, and they're fourth in average or something like that. They're top 5 in the most important categories there. So it's just... Everyone, I understand lately the Phillies offense definitely has been slumping, but the offense is still good. They're just in a little bit of a rut, and they're still finding ways to win games. That's just, trying here. I don't know. I just wasn't the biggest fan of the broadcast, if you catch my drift, which is obvious. But, yeah, we do have a voicemail here on the Anytime Hotline, so we might as well get to that. If you want to leave any for future use, you can leave it at 215-839-9885. Your thoughts and opinions on everything, Phillies sports related, the reaction to this Phillies-Mets series after tomorrow. Like I said, we got a call right here from Sean, so let's see what Sean's got.
Greetings and salutations from across the pond, Amadeo, you wanker. Again, this is pretty much what we've seen from the Phillies as of late. The offense still isn't clicking, but they seem to have that one big inning that you need and just solid pitching. And it's your day when, of all people, Whit Merrifield goes yard. Holy shit. But got to give shout out again. I usually try to point out some unsung guys. How about the job that Jose Ruiz is doing out of the pen? He's gone out there quietly as a nondescript call-up from the minor leagues, and he's been pitching real solid ball for the Phillies. I mean, gave up a couple hits today on some tough pitches, but for the most part, that guy has been money and has solidified himself a spot in the pen. Ranger, I didn't think was 100% sharp, but didn't expect him to be after a week off. But he gets his 10th win, and if things keep shaping up the way that they are, he should be starting in the All-Star game. Big wins, since, as we know, when Taiwan pitches, bad things happen. But you got the first win of the series.
Yeah, always the most important to get the first win of the series. And, yeah, Jose Ruiz, I would actually want to look at his career numbers because he definitely has been going under the radar in what he has been doing this year since being called up. I actually do want to look at his career numbers so far. So he started in 2017, so he's been pitching in the majors for a little bit of time here. So it looks like he started with the San Diego Padres, then he went to the Chicago White Sox for a little bit. So with the Padres, okay, that was barely anything. He pitched one inning there, didn't allow a run. Then he went to the White Sox. I'm assuming he was traded there. In 6 games in 2018, he had a 4.15 ERA. In 2019, he pitched 40 innings, had a 5.63 ERA, so nothing good there. In the COVID-shortened season, he had 5 games, 2.25 ERA, so he really didn't pitch much. 2021 for Chicago, 3.05 ERA, solid stuff there in 59 games. for the White Sox in 2023. So this was 2022 for the White Sox. 4.6 ERA in 63 games. Then in 2023, I guess he was traded to Arizona after the White Sox or something like that. He did not pitch well for the White Sox. Then he got traded to Arizona. Then his numbers definitely came down drastically. 4 games in 23 for the White Sox with a 22 ERA. Then he got sent to Arizona. His ERA finished at 4.43. And then so far in 11 games for the Phillies, he's pitched at a 2.08 ERA in 13 innings. So, yeah, good stuff there from Ruiz. He's probably not the best pitcher in the world, but I'm sure the Phillies are doing something with his arsenal that's making him effective out there. So, yeah, he's definitely earned a spot in the bullpen. He's definitely earned his spot, which is very good from that aspect. And, yeah, with Ranger, definitely wasn't expecting him to be fully 100% today, especially with the, not pitching, only pitching 2 innings last week, in his last start, and then also the comebacker that made, hit off of his thumb. So 100% he was not going to be fully at, his full capacity, but he settled in and he still found a way to go at least almost a quality start. So there's something to that there. He would have gone 6 innings if it wasn't for Sosa booting that ball at shortstop. So Ranger's still doing his thing. He still got credited for the win. He's still, doing Ranger things. The curveball was a little off with the command. Same thing with the fastball, but he still managed to get outs, which is the most important thing at the end of the day, especially when you're not at your best. So, and he got out of a lot of jams. So, hey, he battled, he settled in, and he put your team in a position to win. And then the bullpen just took it over from there. Kirkering's nasty, dude. Kirkering is nasty. Very nasty stuff. Good for Whit Merrifield, though. Good for Whit Merrifield. We've given him a lot of hate, like I said, rightfully so. But, kind of deserves this moment, I guess you could say. Definitely deserves it right there. But, I'm not sure what the lineup's going to be tomorrow. It'll probably be the same. If not, maybe Rojas gets into the lineup tomorrow. It's weird that they don't bat Rojas against lefties. I always found that odd. But, yeah, do you put Weston Wilson in there just, for a different look? Or I guess Merrifield did earn another start tomorrow, but do you put Rojas in center field instead of Pache? Pache also had a double in today's game. So I'm not entirely sure. I'm sure Rob would like Rojas to get a game in London or something like that. So we'll see. Taijuan Walker is on the mound tomorrow, so it's not guaranteed that he's going to have a good outing. He's most likely going to have a very subpar outing, as Taijuan Walker has been doing this year. Offense definitely is going to have to step up for him, and I do expect that to happen, but we'll see what happens. The most important part is that you won the first game. Most important part there. Definitely is. And, yeah. So let's see. Got some of you guys here in the live chat. Might as well go through that. Before we end it off, definitely going to be an interesting night. Stanley Cup Finals, Game 1 tonight. I'm sure, Sean, you're going to be watching that. Oilers versus Panthers. That'll definitely be an interesting watch. Must-watch television, in my honest opinion. I believe that, 8 o'clock or something like that? So, yeah. Prime time, ABC. Should be a good game, hopefully. Hopefully it's a good series. Hopefully. T-Man, how you doing? Yep, first win overseas. Atmosphere was great there, man. It was great. Watching, even though, granted, watching on television, I'm sure it was a completely different story if you were there in London. Prayers to the people that somehow afforded to go there. Me and my cousin's ticket rep actually did try to offer us tickets to go to London, but like I said in the previous stream, my cousin was like, I would, but then, I have family over there in Ireland, so if he goes to London, he would have to go to Ireland or something like that, and he just doesn't feel like coughing up the money to go to London and Ireland, so, which makes sense. It definitely does. I would have liked to go, but I'm not going to force anybody to go. It's too much money at the end of the day. A good thing the Phillies got some of the juiced balls today. That play by Marte on Sosa definitely was, he could have caught that. He 100% could have caught that. Breakfast with Taijuan Walker, upset stomach tomorrow. Where the hell do people get all this money to go to England? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, Sean. I don't know. I don't know where people get this money. Channel name, how you doing, man? Watching my friend's dog who is away at London. I told them not to pay me, but low-key hope they bring me something from the game. Hopefully they do. I'm sure they'll bring you back some type of souvenir. Hopefully they do at least, especially since they're not paying you. Personally, I won't take the money, but that's just me. At the end of the day, you're also just you're a good Samaritan, not doing it for free. You're just a good Samaritan. Yeah, the field definitely was juiced. The balls were just crazy bounces all over the place. Fish and chips in a care package. What's up, Ferguson? How you doing? Yeah, it definitely was a fun watch. Especially if Leia Hextall is definitely not going to be there, Sean. Leia Hextall is definitely not going to be on the broadcast for the finals. No way in hell is it. It's going to be this Sean McDonough. It's going to be Ray Ferraro. It's going to be those two guys specifically, and then you're in between the with Steve Levy and Messier and PK Subban most likely. That's going to be all the coverage there for ESPN, which I think is a little bit of an understatement because, TNT, they have the entire desks filled with people for their coverage, and then ESPN only has 3 people. Why not just use all your hockey guys? Why not bring in, especially Butchgrass, Kevin Weeks, just so you have the full thing? You know what I mean? You hate Emily Kaplan? I did not expect that. I think she's a good reporter. I think she is. I definitely wasn't expecting that. Most people hate Leia Hextall. I think she's kind of annoying, personally, in my opinion. What else is there? More Phillies pictures just being shared right here. Look at the atmosphere from the dugout, the crowd, everything there. Just great stuff overall. The atmosphere was great. My God, look at all those Phillies fans. Fantastic stuff. I don't think there's anything else here Twitter-wise. What time is it right now in London? London time right now. What time is it in London? It's 10:02. So the game started at 1, 3 hours. So it was a 7 o'clock game for them. Hextall is great on play-by-play. I can't tell if you're being serious there, Sean. I can't tell. No, she is not a good play-by-play person, in my opinion. I can't tell if you're being serious. I can't tell. I hope you're not being serious, in my opinion. Oh, man. I hope you're not being serious there, Sean. My, oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my. 5-hour day. Yeah, it's 10 o'clock there. So what time is it going to be tomorrow for their game? So it's 10 a.m. here. So 11, 1, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 3 o'clock. I guess it's a 3 o'clock game there or something like that. So, yeah, 3 o'clock game there. Probably 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock game. So if I'm doing my time correctly, if I'm mapping correctly, don't worry about it. It'll be 10 in the morning tomorrow. I'll probably be waking up at like around 8:30, 9 o'clock. Try to get myself prepared before I watch the game. So hopefully that'll be the case. To watch. Look at Hextall's calls during a shootout. Oh man, I knew you weren't being serious there, Sean. Oh man. Oh God. Great stuff here, boys. So yeah, Taiwan Walker versus Jose Quintana tomorrow. I'm sure the Mets lineup will look a little bit different because they were definitely very righty heavy against Ranger today. So the Mets lineup will probably look a little bit different. They'll have more lefties in the lineup most likely tomorrow. Phillies lineup will probably look around the same. Maybe they put Rojas in for Pache. That's probably basically it. But yeah, for the most part, I think we're pretty much done here. Good win by the Phils. Let's see if they can get the 2-game sweep here in London. That would be very electric if they could do that. And then after this London series, they get the day off on Monday, and then they go to Boston, which I still find very ironic that they play in London and then they go to Boston after. That's kind of pretty ironic there, in my honest opinion. I don't know, with American history and all that stuff, Boston Tea Party, all that crap. It's very ironic in my honest opinion. I don't know if the MLB did that on purpose, but yeah. That'll do it for today, everybody. Hopefully everyone enjoys the rest of your Saturday, whatever you plan on doing, whether that's watching the Stanley Cup Final or just sit back and relaxing or going out. And, yeah, that's basically it. Go Nationals. They're winning 3-0 over the Braves, huh? That'll be nice if they win. That'll be nice if they beat the Braves. But, yeah, that'll do it for tonight, everybody. I appreciate you all joining in as always, so don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section down below. Don't forget to drop a like. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Does me a great deal of service. And also use the code TTPSPORTS, $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. When the Phillies are back overseas, back from across the pond at Citizens Bank Park, get yourself down there. Great deal. Don't pass it up. So, yeah.